Good morning everyone, welcome back to Theme Park Parents. We're back today at our home park, Drayton Manor. You can class this as our home park because it's probably the closest one with any major attractions, to be fair.
Other than Wicksteed Park, which I don't think really counts.
Wicksteed Park is technically closer, but yeah, it's only got a bunch of portable attractions. We come here every April round about Rowan's birthday. We have done for the last 3 or 4 years now, but today is going to be very special, we hope, because Eloise, when we measured her, was 1.21 metres. So we're hoping that she is able to get on her first ever inverting roller coaster, which of course is the Wave, which is the park's only inverting roller coaster. Holly, you're a bit under the weather today, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in the process of getting over a cold. Still got a little bit of a cough, but we'll make the most of it. I can't.
Bless her. Right, we're just going to head up to the park now, do our pre-park toilet break, and then we'll be heading in. Got about half an hour till park opening this morning, which of course is at 10:30. They don't have the opportunity to go in and pre-queue for the rides. You have to go into the large holding area and then everyone just sprints for the rides. So yeah, we'll update you when we get into the holding area and the plan for today. About 10:10 now, and usually they have the gates open at this point, so you can get into the first hold area. It's not like Alton Towers where you can just get in and get into the pre-queue for your first ride of the day. It's all about survival of the fittest here, because they generally do the rope drop dead on 10:30, and then everybody sprints to whatever ride they usually want. It's normally the Wave or Gold Rush, to be fair. Fair few people here. We are on a Sunday, so we're going to expect it to be quite busy today. Not quite off peak, but hopefully not as busy as the Saturdays here. Paid £127 for today because we're not annual pass holders. That's £29.50 for adults, even though Eloise and Rowan are both tiny and children, they still get charged adult prices. So that times 4 and then £9 for parking brings it to 127. Okay, 10:24 and the gates are now opened. Eloise and Holly have gone off to go and ride the Wave, so me and Rowan are going to head straight to the Troublesome Trucks roller coaster. This is Thomas Land's busiest attraction, but the operations tend to be pretty bad on here, so it's definitely good to hit this thing first. Not quite open yet, but hopefully should be open straight at 10:30. Of course, this roller coaster has only got 20 riders per train. It takes a lot of fast passing, sometimes up to 8 riders per cycle. It's a 2-lap special and the operations are pretty bad. And the combination of all those things generally means that it has some of the worst queue times in the park. So if you have little ones and want to get on this roller coaster, it's a good thing to do first, because everyone just sprints to either Gold Rush or the Wave, which of course are the bigger attractions. But yeah, Rowan absolutely loves Thomas, so we'll start off with the Troublesome Trucks Runaway roller coaster. Well, 10:30 on the dot, and the operator has just come to open the queue line. So this will be the first ride of the day, the Troublesome Trucks Runaway roller coaster. Got a lovely queue on this because you come through the station where the train is. But yeah, there's absolutely, I think there's 6 people ahead of me, so I should be on the first train of the day. We'll see you when we come off. Right, that was the first ride of the day. Got straight on. Ops are pretty efficient there. Queue's still pretty short, and Holly's just had told me that the Wave queue has opened, so we're just going to come around and do it again. Probably 1 train's worth of people in front of us, so be a short wait. We'll do this again, and then we'll probably head over to Amity Cove to see Eloise and Holly. Oh yeah, that's a nice little feature, something for the children to do in the queue line, which obviously can't get very long in this particular ride. Park opening hours today are 10:30 until 5, which isn't great. They could really do with opening until 6 or opening at 10, because mathematically working out, you're not really too much better off than an off-peak hour opening at Alton Towers, really. Only 6.5 hours, which isn't great, but we'll see what the queue lines are like throughout the day. Well, that's a nice way to start the day there, with a couple of back-to-back rides on the Troublesome Trucks Runaway Line roller coaster. We're now going to head over to Amity Cove, where we should hopefully be seeing Eloise and Holly either riding the wave or just coming off it. Apparently they're queuing for front row, which looks like the train's broken down there. Yeah, can't really fault the operations for the Thomas Land roller coaster. Obviously, not many people are using fast passes at this time of day. They are fixing the train, yeah. Yeah, hopefully. Not long now till we see Eloise riding her first ever inverting roller coaster. The Wave, of course, Intamin roller coaster. Looks like B&M, but this was built in 1994, the year of the roller coaster here in the UK. Yeah, you can watch it. We're going to go over there and watch it anyway. Of course, we had the Wave, Shockwave opening in 1994 as a stand-up coaster, along with Nemesis at Alton Towers, and the big one over at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I think Holly and Eloise will be on the next ride, hopefully. There it comes. Of course, I did prefer it when it was Shockwave. It's a bit more thrilling being a stand-up coaster, but I can understand why the park went this way in wanting to reduce the height restriction and make it a 1.2 metre sit-down coaster. It is a lot more comfortable, I have to say. So I'm going to position myself right under this flat piece of track, and then we'll wait for Harley and Eloise. Well, she's been measured and I think she's on this train. This is actually really exciting for me because I love roller coasters and I'm so happy that Eloise shares the same love for it as well. Yeah, just video them coming down here really. Something I have noticed is the dispatch time for the Wave, which is just truly awful. I think you're looking at 2-3 minutes between dispatches by the time the train gets into the station bar up to going up the lift hill again. It's really quite slow. This ride desperately needs a second train and ideally an offload station as well. Because it is by far the most popular attraction in the park and it does get some very long queues with just the one train. Definitely needs something in the future. They can't keep going on like this with just one train. Anyway, let's see Eloise on the front row of her first ever inverting roller coaster. There she is, right on the front, bless her. She looked a bit frightened, but I think she's having fun. We'll see when she comes off. No air race today, which is the park's only other inverting ride. Something that Eloise could also actually get on because she is tall enough. But I'm pretty sure we'll make do with just the Wave, to be fair. Well done! You loved it? Oh, I'm so happy.
Some of the faces that she was putting.
It's that one in the corner. Eloise, come here. How was it? Did you like it?
Good.
You went on it really fast, didn't you?
Good.
Yeah, you loved it?
Yeah.
You want to go on it again later on?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. I'm so proud of you.
It hurt this bit.
Hurt your legs a bit, yeah?
And it hurt this bit.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. But you did it, you've been on an upside down roller coaster.
So when we were going up the lift hill, she was proper egging herself on. She asked to hold my hand and yeah, she was really excited. We went down the first drop and she started pulling a bit of a funny face. She said something, but obviously I couldn't hear her and I didn't hear what she said. So I put my arm across and held on to her a little bit tight and just told her that I had her. And throughout the first inversion, she pulled a bit of a funny face. And I think it's probably just a new feeling for her.
Yeah.
But as we came round this last bit here, she was smiling, she was laughing, she absolutely loved it. We got onto the brake run and she went, "Mummy, I want to go on again with Daddy."
Yeah, yeah.
So she absolutely loved it.
We'll definitely do it again at the end of the day, I think.
So we have just paid for a £20 photo pass, so you get 4 printed items that can include photos, magnets and key rings. So we had her, oh, I've just hit myself in the face.
Stab me in the
Yeah,
shot.
her first ever inversion.
Yeah.
We have it, it's solid, it's printed and she is smiling like crazy.
This just opens up so many more opportunities of what she can ride.
Now that she's done it,
Yeah.
she's a fearless little
We'll have to get a picture of her in
warrior.
front of it as well. Yeah,
Yes.
really
I'm so happy.
We made the right decision though doing that first, because the queue line is all the way to the bottom of the stairs now. Yeah, so we're looking at least an hour there. Like I said, we'll probably do it at the end of the day. First thing and last thing for this ride.
Yeah, she really does want to go on with you.
Yeah, because it is a really busy attraction, and like I said, it does desperately need a second train.
I'm going to take her photo.
Yep. We're going to head over to the River Rapids after this and drag the children on. Because we've never actually done that ride ever since we've been here. Rowan's been too small, it's broken down, we've forgotten to do it. It's just a number of reasons, but we are going to finally get on it. And yeah. Yeah, we're finally going to do it. So yeah, in the 4 times we've done this park, we've never done the River Rapids, to be fair. So this is actually our first time doing it and experiencing it. It's a 1.1 metre height restriction, so Rowan can do it now, as well as Eloise. And yeah, I think the last time I'd done this must have been when I was back in secondary school on a school trip, to be fair. It's been a long time. It's had a bit of a refurb since then as well. What I do like about this ride is the interaction you get with the wave, because it just weaves in and out of the supports, and it looks like there's not many people queuing for it as well. The weather is nice, to be fair. We're looking at about 19 degrees later on, but it's not boiling. Oh, this is an annoying queue line. Blimey. It's not quite Storm Force 10 weather though, and Storm Force 10's a 1.3 metre restriction anyway, so we wouldn't be able to get on that. Yeah, looks like there's about 2 boats worth of people queuing for it, so should not be too long at all. Okay, that was the River Rapids, and we did actually get fairly wet, me and Holly. That's mainly due at 2 points of the ride. There's one which you got some water cannons, which sort of get you a little bit of spray and a couple of drops. But then inside the tunnel, there's one huge dip, and it came right over the boat, soaked Holly, she got grumpy with me, and then I got a bit wet as well. And then Rowan's now saying he hates the rapids. Are you annoyed with me?
Yeah, I am. I don't like water rides.
I've not been on this ride in...
Yeah, but you keep making me go on water rides and I keep getting wet. It's like River Quest all over again.
But yeah, it's not as bad as River Quest at Fantasyland. We're going to head over now to the Wave Swinger, which is the other family ride in Amity Cove. And then if Maelstrom's quiet, Holly will get her ride in on her favourite flat ride. I may do it later on, we'll see.
Favourite UK flat ride?
Favourite UK flat ride. What's your favourite? Oh, Hurricane Condor. No photos today, unfortunately, at the Rapids, which is not great considering we just paid £20.
I did ask her if they were all working. She said the Rapids and Jormungandr aren't up and running with the photos today, but all of the other rides...
We can get one on Accelerator then.
Yes.
So you get unlimited digital downloads and 4 prints. Is that what it is?
No,
just 4 prints?
4 printed items, and the items that you choose you get a digital download of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, time to head over to the Wave Swinger then. Alright, here we are at the Wave Swinger. Of course, if anybody remembers, this is actually the former site of G-Force, which is a Mara absolute terrible roller coaster, which had the lift hill as a loop, and it was just awful. It had a lift hill as a loop.
How?
Because it had a chain which stayed inside a track, and then it's difficult to explain. But yeah, it wasn't a very comfortable ride, and I'd say this is probably more enjoyable than G-Force because
go on G-Force.
You did,
but,
yeah.
Many years ago. I don't remember it.
Oh, thank you. Cheers. Sorry, mate. Thank you very much. Cheers. Yeah, so as the ride went around the circuit, the restraints would just continuously get tighter and tighter to the point where they were suffocating you by the end. It was so uncomfortable. And there was terrible throughput as well. It was constantly breaking down. They probably made a good decision by getting rid of that, to be fair. And there goes Maelstrom into Manjaro Swing. Half the size of the one that's opening at Blackpool this year, which I'm sure Holly is going to be absolutely buzzing to get on.
Which one's bigger, this one or Cyclone?
I think this one might be... I think they're roughly the same size, yeah.
Smaller. It looks smaller just by looking at it, from what I can remember.
It is a good ride though, so we'll probably get on that afterwards. There's not many people waiting at all, to be fair. Like I said, this is a thrill ride, and Drayton Manor is very much a family theme park, so never builds up too much of a queue. But yeah, we're going to get a ride on that afterwards. Probably Holly first and then me later on in the day, I think. Okay, that was our ride there on the Wave Swinger, which is actually quite a popular ride. It's built up a fair bit of a queue, to be fair. It is one of the more popular attractions for families here at the park. But we've done that. Kids are just having a snack on the floor, and Holly's gone for her ride on Maelstrom, which is her current UK #1 flat ride. Not sure if the same will be said after we go to Blackpool this year, but at the minute it is her favourite, and she does absolutely love this. It's running on reduced capacity today. It looks like only about half the seats are being filled, but luckily there's not too many people waiting for this. And while I'm standing here, I've got to listen to this, which is constantly stuck on. So that's fun.
Making waves on her return from charming her fishy friends over at Wave Swinger.
Oh, well, we can't wait to see you soon, Jen. But for now, let's bring in those swinging good blues.
Now because I had a chat with the guy. Basically, they are running on a reduced capacity. Unsure why, however, all of our belts, I plugged in my belt myself and pulled down my strap. They unplugged my belt and plugged it back in themselves, and then it was triple checked afterwards. So I don't know whether there's been an incident or something. What they're doing at the moment is they are asking 30 people every 15 minutes to come back for like a timed slot because of the reduced capacity. I spoke to the guy, he said because we're single riders, he let me on, and then you just go over and say that you've obviously, you, my husband, and he'll get you on without giving you a time slot to come back. But currently all of the time slots are gone up to 6 PM.
Wow.
So yeah, it's probably a good chance. I wasn't mean to him. Like,
No, that's probably why it's not going to queue then, yeah.
Yeah, I just like, I was curious. I was like why is it like this way? And he's like, we're just on reduced capacity, and then I explained.
Well, I guess that reduces.
Riders.
Yeah, I guess that reduces, having to queue, which is good.
Yeah,
so there's
but,
no queue lines.
yes, if you just, I guess you just go up to him and say that you let my wife on and said that we could swap over.
Yeah,
as
if
single
I
riders.
fancy it.
But
Yeah.
I think you should. It's a good ride.
I do like it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna head to Gold Rush now because we want to get both cycles today. We've only ever done the cycle in the afternoon. We've never done the morning one, so we're going to do both cycles today. Rowan absolutely loves this roller coaster. Eloise is a good fan of it as well. It's my favourite ride of the park, to be fair. I do love it, and I think Holly likes it.
I do like it, but obviously I've only been on it twice. I think you've been on it more than me.
I've done it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I've only done it twice, so I can't really remember it. And also, like to say, we've only done the one cycle.
Yeah. Right, we'll head over to Gold Rush, Frontier Falls. Right, here we are back in Frontier Falls then, where we shall be riding Gold Rush, the Intamin family coaster. Going to be doing both cycles today. First cycle runs up until 2 PM and then changes. You sort of need to ride it to understand what happens exactly, but it is very re-rideable and my favourite ride here at Drayton Manor. Also really good to sit back on 2 trains as well. Most of the year last season was 1 train operation, and it really did affect the queue times massively. Awful throughput, because obviously they sell a lot of fast passes here as well. It's just so good to sit back on 2 trains as well. So what the queue time's like. Haven't really waited too much for anything today. I think the longest wait was probably Holly and Eloise on the wave, to be fair, and that was only about 10-15 minutes. So yeah, looks like it's all the way out the station and up the hill, so we'll see how long we wait. Yes.
Right.
So, cycle 1 goes out the station, straight up the lift hill and over, does the first part of the circuit, then goes into that building forwards, comes out backwards on a different track, up to the lift hill, reverses slightly up the lift hill, then comes forward, back round to the station, and then launches into the last part of the run. Cycle number 2 goes part way up the lift hill, and then comes back down into the station backwards, launches forward, then goes up the lift hill, over the top, and completes the rest of the layout, So yeah, there's quite a different variation for each cycle, to be fair. Personally, I prefer cycle number 2. Well, we've been waiting about 10 minutes, just under, and we moved quite quickly. So the difference of 2 trains really does make. And of course now we're at the Memorial of Apocalypse, the old Inversion drop tower that was here. I don't actually remember a thing about this ride because it's been so many years since we came to Drayton Manor before we started doing these visits. And of course Apocalypse wasn't there the first time we came. So yeah, I think I may have ridden it in the past, but honestly, I remember very little because I came here probably before I even started secondary school, so less than the age of 10. But from what I heard, it was a good drop tower, but this is definitely a worthy replacement. Well, we've only been waiting 15 minutes and we are nearly in the station. And then it's just up the stairs and we'll be on. Well, half an hour exactly and we're now in the station. The dispatchers have been really efficient as well. They seem to be getting the train out before the previous ones hit the brake run. So, here we go on Gold Rush. We'll see you when we come off. Right, that was our ride there on Gold Rush. Really enjoyable family coaster, and the kids always loved it as normal.
Yeah, they absolutely loved it, but now they are asking to go on accelerator, so we are going to see what the queue is like before stopping for some lunch.
Yeah, the only problem with Gold Rush is the children don't like the indoor sound effects. They find them too loud, so they're always covering their ears, bless them. But generally, I do love that coaster, and it's good that we'll get to experience both cycles today as well. So yeah, accelerator first, and then we'll see about lunch. Accelerator is the first ever Vekoma from the Boomerang, and it's an okay ride, to be fair. It is pretty big, to be fair.
The queue is pretty big.
Right, the queue's looking at about 40 minutes, so I think we'll actually going to look at getting something to eat first, I think. Now, a ride that almost everyone, including us, forgets when we come here is an attraction called The Haunting, which is a Vekoma Madhouse. We've never done this before.
I do like a Vekoma Madhouse.
Children have never done this before either, so we're just going to give it a go before we head for lunch. Yeah, and we'll see what it's like, to be fair. A couple of new attractions today for us.
I've done this before.
Hopefully it's not too scary for the little ones. So this will be our third Vekoma Madhouse. Which is your favourite of the two we've done?
Definitely Hex.
Hex is far better. The other one we did was Feng Shui Palace over at Fantasia Lounge.
It had so much more potential.
Yeah, it was okay. The thing is, it had a really long, boring pre-show, which wasn't great. And then the actual effects inside the theatre weren't great either. There's a lot of blank screens, whereas Hex is awesome. From the moment you step into the castle to the minute you leave the actual ride, complete immersion, a lot more entertaining. So we'll see how this one is, to be fair. What it is, they run on a 15-minute cycle, so a member of staff will come down, gather whoever's here, obviously up to capacity, and then it will do the same again in 15 minutes. I don't know what that's like for throughput, but yeah, we did this before lunch as we've never done it before. And then I'm feeling a bubble waffle. Yeah, the feeling's pretty decent.
Cool. I like that big door.
Are you feeling a bubble waffle also?
Maybe. I do fancy some chips or a burger.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of food outlets that we've come to in the past which are closed today, so I'm not sure how we're going to do with food. But kids have got their snacks, they'll have their lunch
I'm
and
feeling a burger.
a burger.
Are you trying to say hello?
Okay, they want to be on camera. That wasn't the best, to be fair. Worth doing. We've done it. We can say we've done it. We don't have to go on it again. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm very confused.
The pre-shows were okay, to be fair. There's some really good special effects.
Yeah, I would say if you have jumpy or timid children, I would maybe either prepare them or avoid. There is some bits that probably are a little bit scary.
Yeah, we've obviously never done that before, so we're walking in completely blind, and yeah. We've done it. We probably won't do it again since we're here, but that's another Vekoma Madhouse we've done. And I'd probably say I actually preferred Fengju Palace to that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really short cycle and it was too dark to appreciate the visual effects of it.
The audio was really quiet as well, didn't really create much of a scene inside there. But yeah, time for lunch now. Holly's gone for a bubble waffle. I've just gone for a nice hot dog. The bubble waffle was a £5 and the hot dog was £7.50, and Eloise is having a dance because we're just enjoying the show whilst we're having some lunch. Under accelerator as well.
Here we go.
I just had lunch and we're now in the Vikings area, which has got 4 rides. We'll probably do 3 of them, not sure if we'll bother with Stepnir. Thor is a brand new experience that Eloise can do today, and our first ever Zamperla Disco, as she is now 1.2 metres. But we're going to start off with Loki.
Looks like it's a full capacity today, they don't always do that.
Look at on Loki, which looks like it's got a fair bit of a weight, but we'll head this first. It's got some good pops of airtime and quite an enjoyable flat ride for the little ones. Looks like Jormungandr is currently down, and of course Stepnir is usually a walk-on these days because it's not a very popular ride. Yeah, so we'll pop on Loki, see if Jormungandra's back up, and we'll also experience Thor as well whilst we're down here. Well, that was our ride there on Loki. We waited about 25 minutes. There's a bit better throughput when they've got both up and down seats in use. And now me and Eloise are going to head on to Thor, while Holly takes Rowan onto Jormungandr. Not sure how long we're going to wait for this. I've only ever ridden it when it's been pretty much walk-on, so we'll see how long we wait for it. And then I think we'll do Jormungandr afterwards with Eloise as well. She does like that roller coaster. Hello.
Hello.
Right, time for Eloise's first ever Zamperla Disco. Well, we waited for 25 minutes there for Thor. Eloise absolutely loved the ride, so that went down really well. And Holly has just got on Jormungandr with Rowan after about a half an hour wait. Opened back in 1987, Zamperla powered coaster. I remember this from when I was when I used to come here as a child as well. I guess the best part of it is the bit that goes over the water. It's quite nice in terms of views, and yeah. This was the only ride here at one point before the whole Vikings area opened. And now it's been roamed to Jormungandr. It used to be Buffalo, of course. But I'm not sure what the future holds for this. It seems to have a bit of reliability issues every now and then, and now the train's shorter as well. We shall see. Maybe I was wrong, maybe the train is a normal leg, just seems a little bit shorter to me. Oh well. Right, and that will conclude our time in the Vikings area for the time being. We're not going to bother with Stepnir at the minute because there is quite a queue for it and it's just not worth the wait. Holly and Rowan done Jormungandr, me and Eloise did Thor, and we all did Loki. So we're going to head over now to Accelerator. Regardless of the queue, the kids have been dying to get on this. I think it's still their favourite coaster. So we'll just give that a check. We'll give that a ride after Vikings. No Flying Dutchman today, but not too much of a miss. I think there's 2 other rides in Thomasland along with Air Race, which is not open today. So this does look like it's going to hopefully be back soon.
Which is a shame because the kids love that ride.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first ones you ever took them on when we came to Drayton Manor.
So.
Rowan loved it anyway. But anyway, time for Accelerator, the Kramer Family Boomerang, the original, formerly known as the Ben 10 ride. And at the minute, completely out of place within Frontier Falls. Oh well. Hopefully one day it'll get a retheme. Well, unfortunately, Accelerator's gone down with technical difficulties, so we are going to get on our second ride of the day on Gold Rush. It's past 2 PM now, so we are on cycle 2, my preferable cycle. So, see how long the queue is. I imagine quite a few people may have gone over here since the Accelerator isn't working, but we'll see. Time for the second ride of the day on Gold Rush. Well, another 30-minute wait and we are back in the station ready for second ride of Gold Rush on cycle number 2. Operations have been really efficient today. Not really had any downtime from what I can recollect. We're ready to go again. Also, me and Eloise have managed to get the back row, which is great on this ride for a little bit of airtime. Right, just come off Gold Rush for the second ride of the day. We're now going to head over to Blasting Barrels, which is a ride that we haven't done before. It's basically a teacups with a bit of a slant to it. That's what we're going to go on next. Something me and Holly have picked up on is the camera position for Gold Rush. If you've got young children, they're forced to sit on the right hand side, which means the person on the row in front, if they're an adult, they get in the way of your child completely. So it's not a very good photo opportunity at all. So yeah, it's not great. Right, time for, is it Blasting Barrels? Yes, Blasting Barrels. Well, that was nauseating. That was incredibly fast and yeah, that was quite dizzying actually, but good fun to be fair.
But the handler? No.
The ride operator.
Yeah, he
was really
was
friendly.
He was the happiest person I think I've ever met.
I think he said nice to meet you about 3 times.
and he told us to have a good day about 7.
Fair enough, can't complain. Right, I'm going to try Sheriff Showdown now, which is the interactive dart ride, which is something else we haven't done before either. So we'll see how this goes.
And I won again. I'm happy. Okay, bye.
Yeah, that was a nice relaxing shooter ride to be fair. I think most of the targets worked, it was hard to tell. But it doesn't look like Accelerator is going to be opening for the rest of the day, unfortunately. It's been down for well over an hour now and they've still got a member of staff standing there. So it looks like they've sort of given up. We can't see any active work going on around it either, which is a real shame because Eloise and Rowan absolutely love this ride. So it is a bit of a shame really. But I think we're probably going to finish up the day sort of shortly because it's 4 o'clock now. Eloise wants to get her second ride on the wave. Holly wants to go and get a bit of merchandise for the gift shop.
Yeah, but we don't have to do that until right at the end. But Rowan wants to go on the
Stepney, the horses.
The horse ride.
So we'll see if Eloise wants to. If she doesn't, then me and her will probably go to the wave. They'll do the horses, and we'll probably call it a day. Before we finish off the day though, we are going to go for a ride on Stepney, which is the small horsey ride in the Vikings area. The only reason being is because they have photo opportunities on that, and the rides that we wanted to get photos today the photo booths are either not open or the ride's been shut. So we've got 4 free prints with a £20 photo pass. We've got one from the Wave this morning, but all the other ones we haven't actually had an opportunity to do. So we're going to probably get them on this ride, and then maybe we'll get the one of me and Eloise on the Wave at the end of the day. But yeah, we'll just go for a ride on Stepney now. Never usually has too much of a wait. It's not a particularly popular ride, so maybe 5-10 minutes. And then me and Eloise will head over to the Wave, and Rowan has said he wants to do Troublesome Trucks again. Well, Accelerator has just been testing now, but it's 4:30 and they have the sign out the front of the queue which says last rides in progress, queue line now shut. So I don't want to hang about and then miss the opportunity to go on the Wave. So me and Eloise are going to head over to the Wave. This will be our last ride of the day. Holly's taken Rowan to the photo booth to get our photos on Stepney, and then she'll probably finish up the day on Troublesome Trucks with Rowan because he's asked to go on that again. It's a shame we couldn't get on Accelerator, but we've done it numerous times before and we'll definitely be back again. So not really much of a big deal missing out on that. So yeah, I'm going to head over to the Wave. Here it comes, over the corkscrew. Now, while the Wave is by far the most thrilling coaster here, it's actually not my favourite, because I appreciate ride length and the Wave is painfully short. After the 4 inversions, it's just a helix and back to the station really. That's why I much prefer Gold Rush. It's just far more worth the wait. We shall see how long we wait for this anyway. The time has just gone 4:30. We'll see you at the station. Right, we're waited about half an hour and we're now in the station. Eloise has decided that she wants to queue for the front row again. So I guess that's where we're headed. Probably be about another 10-15 minutes I imagine, with it just being on the one train. But we're getting there slowly and looking forward to a front row ride on the Wave. Okay, so we just had the ride on the Wave there. All in all, waited around 40 minutes with the front row queue. Managed to skip a couple of trains because they called a 2 forward, which was lucky, because you can wait quite some time. Dispatches average about 3-4 minutes, so it's not great. Now the park today was advertised on the website as closing at 5 PM. However, all the queue lines are open, and it says they're open till 6 now, so I'm not sure if that's a demand capacity type situation or whether that's just a standard thing they've got wrong on the website. Either way, we're heading for our third ride of the Wave, third ride of the day on Gold Rush now, which doesn't seem to have much of a queue at all. Let's go again. Okay, so some rides close at 5, some at 6, which obviously we didn't know, so we took advantage of that and we finished off the day with 2 back-to-back rides on Gold Rush,
Well,
which is...
You had 2,
yeah.
I had 1.
Holly went to the gift shop.
Yes.
Whilst I went up with Rowan, and then we shouted from the brake run to come around, because Eloise only likes going on rides when she doesn't have to wait in line.
Which, I mean, I think is a normal kid thing, but yeah, unfortunately Accelerator is out of action.
No.
It has been for quite a few hours now.
But yeah, finished off a good day. It was what has been a really, really good day to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, overall there's been a fantastic day. I've done 4 rides on Gold Rush, we've done all the coasters, all the rides we wanted to apart from Accelerator. Eloise has done her first inverting roller coaster twice, both front row as well. Operations have been generally good. Downtime has been minimal, I'd say, on most rides. I've only noticed it on Accelerator to be fair, and a couple of times on Gold Rush. But overall, it's been fantastic to be fair.
I've had such a good day. It has been a really lovely day.
Yeah. And now we're just going to watch the fountain show over in the distance there.
I think that the water display that they do is a really cute addition. I think it's really pretty, yeah.
And it goes throughout periodic times on the day as well, because we saw it earlier.
Yeah.
That brings us to the end of this vlog. It's been a really good day, had a fantastic time. We'll probably be back again next year, but if not, the next milestone will be when Rowan reaches 1.2 metres.
Yep.
So there's obviously nothing new here.
I don't know whether he's brave enough to brave the wave, you know.
Well, yeah, we'll see. But next time we'll be back, we'll be, as a family, we'll actually probably be in June when we visit Fantasy Island in Skegness.
However,
Yeah, me and Holly will be at Horton Towers in a couple of weeks' time for an off-peak visit.
you're going to Thorpe Park.
I'm going to Thorpe Park to do a Harperian Marathon, and we've also got Park Asterix coming up in May as
so
well.
excited.
That's going to be a really good trip, but for today, I had a really good time.
Yeah.
It's been worth the money, and we'll definitely be back again.
They're still open, baby, but the lines are closed now.
Yeah, we just headed over to Maelstrom quickly to see if they were letting anyone on, but I think they've just let the last batch on right this second. But that's fine, that's fine. I'm not too fussed about missing that.
Can you tell what he wants to do?
I think we might have to get the children an ice cream before the car journey home. But we really hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope you enjoyed the ride.
We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.